Throughout time, there have been mysteries mankind cannot explain. But advances in technology have led to new theories, and the search is underway for evidence that may unlock the most baffling questions of our time. On Mystery Quest. Just after the clock strikes the new year, Kathy Lutz puts her youngest child, Missy, to bed.
Good night, honey.
She heads downstairs to sit in front of the fire. Suddenly, a hooded figure materializes from the flames. A demon, reaching out from another dimension. This was the story of the Amityville horror, but could it be happening again? A ghostly figure moving across a room. A door opening on its own. A sudden drop in temperature. Many believe violent or tragic events at a location, suicide, death, even murder, can trap lost spirits who have died, unable to pass over. The best-known case was experienced by the Lutz family in their Amityville home in 1975. Disembodied voices. Objects moving on their own. And even demonic spirits taking the shape of animals and children.
They only spent 28 days in that house, and they experienced a plethora of phenomena.
This photo was taken by a local news crew after the Lutz family fled. It appears to show the ghost of a young boy in the doorway. While still unexplained, many believe it is proof that the house had been taken over by the undead. The house is considered by many to be the most diabolical haunting in history. The current owners say it is no longer haunted. But there is another location where the eerie phenomenon is repeating itself, nearly 3,000 miles away. It is a former sanitarium that has been called one of the most haunted homes in America.
I believe that people that passed here, for some odd reason, some are still staying here.
Reports of paranormal activity include sudden drops in temperature, the appearance of ghostly figures, and disembodied voices uttering threats like, "Get out." Now, Mystery Quest will launch an expedition to Wolf Manor to investigate whether it is one of the most haunted homes in America.
I'm going to start breaking out the cameras and just getting them ready.
To do this, the team will use new technology to attempt to prove the existence of the supernatural. They will conduct an overnight expedition using sensitive thermal and infrared cameras in and around the building. They will also test another location where similar activity is reported. And Mystery Quest will conduct an experiment to test some of the bizarre and unexplained phenomena in an attempt to debunk the haunting. The expedition is heading to Wolf Manor in Clovis, California, just outside of Fresno. The team believes the source of the haunting could be human or even demonic spirits.
It would be wise for us just to keep our eyes open. The recognition and the free will of somebody wanting to experience something can open up certain vortexes. It can open up something where an entity of some sort can come through.
As was seen in many of the other houses we've been in. So it'll be interesting to see if the place is cooked up or not.
Dave Considine is an expert at identifying demons, the most evil form of the supernatural.
Demonologist is one who is learned in the intercession of demonic or malevolent type spirits. It's our job to find out if there is really something going on, if they really have a problem, and to investigate it. With this, you have depressive mental states. It was an asylum. Also, you have the morgue downstairs. This is a place of the dead. All right, let's get this stuff up.
The team has brought equipment to monitor both the interior and exterior of the former sanitarium.
Hi there. Welcome to the Wolf Manor. My name is Todd Wolf.
Todd Wolf, owner of the building, shows them the first piece of evidence.
It's like a bear or a sloth or something.
It's possible this piece of photographic evidence may have captured a demon at Wolf Manor. Paranormal experts believe demons often appear in the guise of animals and children.
Well, I'm standing in the doorway. Okay. And I'm this tall. So that's me right there. That's my face. I'm standing in the doorway talking to our guests that are in the kitchen, you know. And so proportionately, that's how we figured out maybe a child.
This photograph is very similar to a photograph that was taken during the investigation of the Amityville horror. You can see the railing on the photograph, and you can see the small boy looking over the top of the railing. I'm just concerned when you have small children being seen in a paranormal sense or a supernatural sense, it may be something coming in a guise.
At Amityville, the demon was reported to appear in the guise of a pig and a small boy.
My primary goal is to make sure that we only have human spirits here. And if there's anything demonic, I'll find it.
What rooms right now are really active in your mind? You know?
Sure. We get a lot of activity in the kitchen area, a lot in the basement.
Out in the basement.
Lots in the basement. And from what we understand, that's where they put a lot of the dead bodies. You know, nowadays, if someone passes away at home, the coroner's office comes immediately. Back then, they didn't.
Right.
So that's why we believe there's a lot of activity in the basement. We have Mary's room. We also have George's room upstairs. And we have the front of the house is the master bedroom.
Okay, so this little one will go up in Mary's room.
So let's put these aside just so
Beautiful.
One thing I want to do is the primary areas where people have experienced phenomenon. I want to start with that first. And then we'll work our way up, you know? So.
Okay.
Very
All
good.
right, well, I'll get going on the kitchen and the basement.
We need to power up, so we're going to have to start putting the power packs together.
This one comes out.
The team is using infrared cameras, including a high-powered model called Big Bertha, placed outside to detect energy invisible to the human eye, and a FLIR thermal camera that can show the slightest temperature shifts up to 1/10 of a degree.
The minute you get a hot spot, it is indicative of what we would like to call the demonic or the preternatural. Those are things we really want to avoid, and they are something that everyone should avoid.
They will also use a military intruder detection system called a PEW system that senses vibrations to pick up any activity around the building.
I got you.
They will then determine whether it is human or supernatural.
She's in there. All right, let's go to the other side of the house.
Head's in place. All right.
It's very unique. It's never been used in the paranormal world. This piece of equipment is going to let us know where it's coming in. I want to see where this particular force is coming into the vessel of this house, if it's here, which we do have reason to believe that it is. And that piece of equipment is going to help us find it.
Mystery Quest is in Clovis, California, investigating claims a sanitarium may be possessed by spirits, just like the ones that haunted this Amityville, New York home. For centuries, people have been trying to prove the existence of the supernatural. In the 1800s, seances were an extremely popular way to reach the dead. The introduction of the camera led to pictures of orbs, mists, and in some cases, full-formed apparitions. But this photo, thought to be one of the best examples of the supernatural caught on film, is part of the Amityville horror, considered by many to be the single most terrifying account of a home possession in history.
In my opinion, the Amityville horror seemed to encompass every phenomenon that's known to religious demonology or to the world of the paranormal. It's amazing. That case will go down in history.
Some people believe the home was so profoundly haunted because of what happened on the night of November 13th, 1974. "24-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot 6 of his family members to death as they slept. He said voices had commanded him to do it. Wolf Manor in Clovis, California, has experienced similar tragedy.
The sanitarium was not a great place for people to come to. Mainly, a lot of people came here for the last years of their life, and so they basically came here to die. It wasn't a place for living.
And in the mid-1980s, it was also rumored to have been the site of 2 brutal murders and a suicide.
I'd like to get that wide, yeah.
The team is investigating if this former sanitarium is possessed by spirits. Their overnight investigation will focus on the second floor, where Mary and George's rooms are located, named after 2 spirits said to haunt them. The kitchen, where a childlike figure was seen, and the epicenter of the home's ghostly activity, the basement, where corpses were stored. The team will be joined on this expedition by research scientist Andy Kopic, who designed and manufactured much of the technology being used in this investigation. He started creating high-tech equipment for paranormal investigations following his own paranormal encounter in 2008.
Each step just led to further investigating this, and as each one of those leads ran out, opened my mind up to the possibility that some of this could actually be paranormal phenomena.
Kopic will be working with medium Melissa Segal.
What do you feel about tonight?
Well, last night I kept thinking about Mary's room, so I feel like we should start there.
Okay.
I have a really good feeling that we're going to get a lot of evidence.
Kopic and Segal begin in Mary's room. It's been a hotbed for paranormal activity.
The last time we were here, we really felt a lot of energy coming through this door. I think we should work here, set up some equipment here, but tonight I'm getting someone standing in this closet area.
Kopic has come armed with new gear he has created for this investigation to record any paranormal activity.
This one's strictly measuring vibration. I made this one so that we could measure vibration in conjunction with the audio track, so that we have a timestamp to the events that happen. And also it's recording low frequency sound.
Often called EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, these frequencies are too low to be heard by humans. Another tool for the investigation will be an induction amplifier.
The induction amplifier amplifies electromagnetic fluctuations. These freaky looking antennas pick up different resonances, different frequencies, things that the spirits are using.
They set up an infrared camera to record the events in the room and run an electronic sweep to know where the existing fields of electromagnetic energy are.
Clearly that's a live circuit.
Right.
Now if I turn this off,
Okay.
it gets much quieter.
Yeah.
So that we can establish as a baseline when we start to work.
Right.
We'll kick the light back on.
All their gear is in place.
Okay. Turn the light
The
off.
lights off.
Okay.
So I think we're ready to go.
I agree.
Okay, Chris, you want to fire off cam 2?
Firing up cam 2. Well, why don't you follow me and let me know when I'm out of range.
Investigator Chris Daddio calls team leader Dave Considine to the basement, where corpses were stored while the home was a sanitarium.
Nothing.
Daddio's FLIR thermal camera picked up a heat anomaly on the column in the middle of the room.
So that's this post right here. And for whatever reason, it had a line of heat going through it.
It was like something was leaning against it. Like this, Chris? Kind of like leaning against, like this. It almost seems like an arm. Like, you know, like the space of the arm? But nobody was leaning against these poles.
No.
Did you lean against any poles?
No.
The team will need to determine if someone or something had left their heat signature on the column.
The form of the arm was like something leaning like this. Watching this.
They mark the time and will review the footage from the lockdown infrared camera placed in the room. The Pew system is registering an intruder on detector number 5, located on the west corner of the property. But the only people on site are supposed to be inside the house.
There's no way that could be a false reading, right?
No.
You were picking up humanoid
Yes.
form on the same side over and over.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
What I want to do a sweep around the whole perimeter of the house. So let's do that now and see if we pick up anything, okay? Okay, I think we should start from this side, and then we'll work our way around.
Very good.
Considine and John Arell sweep the perimeter with the handheld FLIR camera, looking for any activity outside.
John, I'm not picking up anything on this side of the house.
Okay.
They approach the west side of the house. The entire perimeter is searched,
Everything seems normal.
and no one is found.
It's doubtful we pick up anybody on the other side of the fence. But that tends to lead me to believe that we had some sort of a electromagnetic anomaly come through here.
Enter through the side of the house.
Enter through the side of the house.
We're not picking up anything out here. I would take Big Bertha. Focus it on this side of the house primarily.
All right.
At least for now, at least for an hour.
Okay.
Okay? It's human, but there seems to be something else. There's something else here.
Mystery Quest is in Clovis, California, investigating Wolf Manor, thought to be one of the most haunted homes in America.
It's just pulsating.
Then it pulsed white, and then went down to red, pulsed white, went down to red.
Is that not there right now?
It's probably still there. Would you like to see it in real time?
Yeah, I would.
The team is on the second floor of Wolf Manor, investigating another heat anomaly they recorded with the FLIR camera.
There not gonna be no way it's gonna be reading 80-something degrees. It's ice cold. How could it be reading 86 degrees? I had a reading of over 90.
The FLIR camera registers the room's temperature at 72 degrees. The heat anomaly is registering at nearly 80. And without any power running to the building, the source of heat in the wall can't be explained.
What the heck?
There's got to be something in that wall.
What the? What would it be producing? There's no power in this wall. It must be the vortex.
A vortex is a portal through which paranormal experts say demons and other spirits can enter our world.
This particular spirit, this demonic presence, if it's here, which we do have reason to believe that it is, it has to come in at some point.
That's really, really weird. Now that is a definite interesting phenomenon, I have to say.
Yeah, it's strange.
That is,
Andy Kopic and Melissa Segal are monitoring activity in a second-floor bedroom, Mary's room, where witnesses have reported significant paranormal activity. Suddenly, the electromagnetic amplifier indicates intense activity.
I'm feeling something coming in. Are you feeling that? And that's getting louder.
Segal believes someone is trying to make contact with them.
Can you come sit right here? That's it.
Hi, Mary. Is that you? Hi, Mary. Do you remember me?
The audio recordings of this moment will be reviewed and analyzed later.
That's a wrap.
The team wraps their investigation at Wolf Manor at 10 a.m. They will head to Kopic's headquarters to download and review their evidence in a town called Carson, California, just outside of Los Angeles. Kopic says this building too is haunted. In October of 2008, a security camera recorded strange activity in what's known as the machine room. First, a chair spins on its own. Just hours later, a cubicle wall dislodges by itself and crashes to the floor.
Each single incident that took place, I don't know that I would have even noticed it or given it any credibility. What was intriguing was they all happened in a 6-hour period of time, all on the same day, all clustered in the same time frame.
The facility sits near the site of a fatal refinery explosion that killed one man and injured dozens, including children. And it is just blocks away from the site of a Native American burial ground.
over the course of history, this little inert plot of land has experienced a lot of trauma.
The previous tenant, from 2000 to 2007, is convinced the warehouse is haunted.
I was always the last person to leave this office. And as soon as the last person left this office, I would just wait for it. And it would come without fail. It would begin with chills. The room would get colder to the point where I could see my breath in a mist. There'd be footsteps. It sounded like somebody had a bowling ball and they were rolling it across the floor.
But Benjamin Radford, managing editor of the magazine Skeptical Inquirer, believes the events at the office may not be the paranormal at work. He thinks there is another, more conventional explanation, and he aims to prove it.
When I'm doing investigations, I don't go into it trying to disprove a ghost or disprove this or disprove that, because that's not scientific. I go into trying to understand what's going on.
Kopic shows Radford the video evidence.
Interesting. And did anything else change or move along with this, or just this?
Just that at the time.
As far as you can tell, did it correlate with any seismic activity or any other things going on, or was it just an isolated incident?
We do have some natural things around here. We have a train that runs right by the building.
Right.
There's a boulevard out in front that has trucks that go back and forth and one thing or another. As far as natural seismic activity, it was a calm time in California, so we didn't have any occurrences like that.
Excellent.
The second piece of video was captured 6 hours later.
And that's just a sort of a regular, like, office partition you might buy, or what?
It is. It's like a cubicle partition.
All right. Well, let's go check it out.
Radford examines the wall for structural stability.
Enough light.
He moves onto the chair, checking it for any defect. And he also marks it to determine how far it can rotate on its own, or with other influences. Radford gives Kopic his assessment of the phenomena.
I started with the falling wall. It's just basically just screwed into the drywall, and from my examination of the screws, it's only in less than ½ an inch. And so my guess is that it's simply a matter of material fatigue. You know, 2 screws which weren't adequate. The chair was much more interesting. I've pretty much narrowed it down in my mind to one of 2 things. Either it's some sort of vibration, as I said. We've got trucks over there. We've got trains over there. We got traffic. There are vibrations in here, as you said. The other explanation is that it's possible that someone was playing a prank or a hoax. Mm-hmm. And when I was looking at it, it occurred to me that this is about the angle that it moved,
right?
More or less. Right. And if one wanted to, you can, come back over here and just out of sight line and do that. And it looks a lot like it. Can I prove that's what happened? No. I wasn't there. Again, you weren't there. But from my investigation, it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Those are some of the possibilities that I was weighing together. And I guess the thing, if either one of those things happened completely independent, you kind of throw it out. It's the fact that
that came down, so based on material fatigue and the chair moving all at the same 6-hour period of time when nothing happened for months ahead, it was strange.
And there may be even more evidence of a haunting here.
We're getting a heat source or something that's showing heat in the ceiling.
Mystery Quest is investigating claims of hauntings at 2 California locations. The team is at Andy Kopic's office building to prove it's the site of paranormal activity. They establish a control room and place 5 infrared cameras throughout the warehouse, focusing mainly on the machine room, the stairs, and the second-floor conference room. They are hoping to capture objects moving on their own and any evidence of the demonic.
We're going to use some of the technology we brought with us, and hopefully we'll be able to catch something.
Kopic has designed a laser trap for the investigation. This high-tech laser illuminates movement too quick for the human eye, capturing it with a high-speed camera.
This monster over here, this is a high-energy pulsed laser. We use a single wavelength of light, and something fluoresces within that wavelength of light. We can sort of tell what material it is, or if it was a gas, or one thing or another. So if anything breaks that beam, disrupts the beam in any way, the camera will record it. We can pretty much stop the motion of just about anything that goes through there, from a rifle bullet to maybe a ghost.
Medium Melissa Segal first checks the machine room floor for any sign of the supernatural.
Right now I'm feeling someone standing at the top of those stairs.
Right.
And then also in that general area where the chairs are sitting, close to the laser. Like I said, up these stairs,
Right.
I see a man like leaning over, watching everything. Earlier, I was sitting in here by myself, and I felt someone walk up, and I felt this breeze around the front of my legs and feet.
Right here.
Yeah, in this area. So I would like to start here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kopic and Segal begin their investigation next to the spot where the chair spun and the cubicle wall fell down.
So for me right now, I'm feeling someone wandering kind of on the outer edge, near the door, the exit door. But I can see like a shadow. I'm not getting a definite, detailed male.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm still feeling like someone's watching us from the stairs here.
They relocate to the top landing of the staircase to continue their investigation.
I'm feeling a little different up here than I was downstairs. I feel really anxious up here.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like shaky, nervous.
The electromagnetic amplifier is indicating a surge of energy on the landing.
Oh my God. Something just came from there. Did you feel that? It was almost as if like some air conditioner. Yeah.
Segal believes the temperature drop may be caused by a spirit draining the energy from the space. While Kopic and Segal are experiencing a drastic drop in temperature on the stairs, the rest of the team is monitoring the feed from the infrared cameras and scanning the warehouse with the FLIR camera for signs of hotspots.
Chris the Dave.
Yeah, Chris.
So I just did my first scan of the conference room up here, and no anomalies.
What are you getting for a temperature read up there?
About 72 degrees.
That's the average?
Yeah, that's the average.
Chris Dadio scans the entire second floor, looking for any fluctuations in temperature.
Dave, I'm going to head back downstairs. I'm not really seeing anything on our first sweep here.
Roger.
Dadio enters the machine room.
We're getting a heat source, or something that's showing heat in the ceiling.
The FLIR is registering a hotspot right above Kopik and Segal.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah,
I was just in the warehouse with Andy, and I want to show you something. I've got another one of these anomalies on a ceiling this time.
What's up?
It seems very similar to what we picked up in the house.
This is on the ceiling?
This is on the ceiling.
Is there an air conditioning system up there or a heating system?
Well, again, Andy doesn't seem to think so. It's something we should definitely look into. Dave, this is Chris. I'm on the roof right now, and I do not see any heat source.
Mystery Quest is in Southern California, investigating possessed homes that match the Amityville horror. This demonologist believes home possessions are real. This medium believes Wolf Manor and this office building are haunted by the souls of those who died there. And this scientist believes the technology he created can prove the existence of the paranormal. The expedition team is in the machine room of Andy Kopik's office, monitoring a heat anomaly on the roof.
Now, if we look directly above Mel and Andy's head,
Chris Dadio heads up to the roof to try to locate the source of the heat.
air conditioner unit. Dave, this is Chris. I'm on the roof right now, and I do not see any heat source near the area where we saw the anomaly on the ceiling downstairs. So I'm going to head back down.
All right, I'll see you when you get here.
Dadio returns to the machine room to continue monitoring the anomaly.
This is definitely something we need to review. 78. Look at that, it's getting hot again.
Gotten quiet. It feels lighter up here.
No, this hasn't made a sound in
Yeah.
a while.
I think they're gone.
Audio straight down.
All right, let's just leave that up for now. Let's break it down.
Very good.
That's a wrap.
The team has gathered evidence that could prove paranormal entities are haunting both locations investigated. Data gathered by the team includes 64 hours of video footage, 5 hours of recorded audio, and over 100 thermal images from the FLIR infrared camera. The evidence has been reviewed and examined for any paranormal activity. At Wolf Manor, the team recorded a mysterious hotspot on the second floor.
degrees. When I did my initial sweep of the entire house, I found no anomalies outside of what equipment we were using. Then Dave, during his second sweep, found that pulsating ball of energy, of heat.
The team believes they may have captured a vortex, what some say is a portal between this world and the other side.
So the wall by the windows and in the 60-degree range, where you see that white, it's 79 degrees. And it was actually pulsating as he was videotaping it, right by this window up in the corner, again, by the crease of where the wall meets the ceiling.
Pulsating?
Pulsating.
Wow.
It gets even better than that.
In the area of the home thought to be the most active, the basement, the team recorded a heat signature on one of the support columns.
So as you guys can see, this is actually the basement shot. The camera is directly right of the door.
Right.
And the image we caught, the image came from actually the side, the left side of this post right here, not dead on.
It was driving us crazy. We were trying to find a source. We could find nothing. Found nothing. And there was no power in the house. That's one thing that we need to mention. There's no power in this house. Nothing. We tested it when we were there. Nothing was feeding into that home.
There's no hot water pipes. There's no...
It's basically just a vessel sitting in the middle of a field.
Right.
The group moves on to evidence from Kopic's office and reviews the strange heat anomaly on the ceiling of the machine room.
As you can see, your roof is 46 degrees. Or right now, 50 degrees.
Now, the ceiling outside does have the that aluminized coating on there, which it's not like a mirror, but it would reflect a heat signature, one thing or another. But when you were taking these pictures, you were actually off axis. What you're measuring is above us, and you're shooting it from here.
Sure.
If it were a reflected heat image, it would bounce like a mirror. If you're not seeing it in that manner, I'm not really buying the fact that it's heat from us or the camera equipment.
At the time we picked up the heat signature, we were also freezing. It felt like there was an air conditioner just blowing on both of us at the top of the landing. At the same time, they're picking up this significant heat signature above, as if our heat was being sucked away and used, and we were seeing it somewhere up on above us, which kind of creepy.
The team's new technology seemed to indicate a supernatural presence during the investigation, especially at Wolf Manor.
We started getting electromagnetic fluctuations on the amplifier.
The audio recordings captured at Wolf Manor were analyzed.
Hi, Mary. Is that you? Hi, Mary. Do you remember me?
But upon review, the EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, proved inconclusive. Finally, the team's review of the footage from the laser's high-speed camera did not show any paranormal activity. While much of the evidence from Andy's office building proved inconclusive, the evidence collected at Wolf Manor may prove some sort of supernatural entity haunts the former sanitarium, similar to what was experienced at the Amityville horror house.
So guys, I would have to say that on the creepy scale, Wolf Manor ranks very high. I think we all picked up some activity here.
It's a very strange place. It seems to have some unwelcome guests.
I've been there several times. Each time I've had an experience. I would definitely say it's one of the most haunted places that I've ever investigated.
Mystery Quest will remain on the case, continuing to develop technology that could finally capture hard evidence of supernatural entities among us.
I'm going to keep collecting things the way that we have been and driving the new equipment and the new technology toward hopefully the day where we do understand what these things are.